Hi everyone. Uh, we'll just wait for Chef Tan to join. Hi Rahul. Chef Tan. Chef.
Hello,
Hi
Chef
Chef
Anita.
Tan.
Long time no
How
see.
are you, Chef? I know,
I'm
Chef. We were supposed to meet in Singapore, but looks like that's not happened yet.
yeah. It takes time. How are you?
I'm good, Chef. How are you?
I'm good also. But how's the condition in India right now?
Chef, okay so far. Cannot tell, but still, because such a big country, so maybe it will take some time here.
Mm, I believe
You all
it.
have started working again, right?
We are allowed to go to school, but the school cannot open yet. Some of the
Oh, okay,
industry,
okay.
some of the industry in Malaysia will already start to get back to normal, but not all.
Oh,
Just parts because
that's good,
just
but
yeah, it is starting to recover back.
thank God.
Mm.
For those who are watching, Chef Tan is part of the team that won the World Pastry Cup in Lyon almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years, Chef Tan.
How long? 2019. Yeah, yeah. One and a half
Yes,
years.
1.5 year.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute honor to have this chat with you. I'm sure there are quite a few young pastry chefs in India and across watching here who want to know about your journey. I have done a few classes with you, I have learned from you, and I know what an excellent teacher you are as well, besides being the World Pastry Champion. Chef, what were
A
your
fierce teacher.
initial years? Huh?
Fierce teacher.
Oh yes, of course. uh, Chef, what were your initial years like? Like when you just, how did you decide to do pastry? What made you decide to do hospitality pastry?
Okay. Me this year I'm 34 years old. So
Okay,
I step into this line is about when I'm age of 20 years old. So it's been for
okay,
4 years. Okay.
14 years.
Yeah. I was study hotel management, not pastry before. Like a lot of the
Okay,
chef from India, I believe they are same. Then
correct.
when I finish my study, when I do the internship, I realized that in hotel management it's not something I want to do. But
Okay,
luckily, I have a chance to go into the pastry kitchen to do the internship. So on
okay,
that time, I realized that maybe I can try in this line. And after I go into this line, I realized that I actually love it a lot. And that's the time I started to do more on pastry. Then I worked 2 years, first 2 years in one of the local chain 5-star hotel. Then
okay,
the second 2 years, I work in another 5-star hotel under Marriott, Renaissance. And that's the
okay.
time, I met Chef Nicholas because he's my ex pastry chef.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what chef, you were like the founding chef who joined the academy almost 10 years ago when
Yep.
the Academy of Pastry and Culinary Arts was launched. At that point of time, what made you take a decision to leave a reputed five-star hotel and join a pastry school which was just opening?
Mm, First, I know. Chef Nicholas very well. We are
Okay.
like I learned a lot from him, not only in pastry but also how to be a how to be a human being. Then also,
Okay.
and I know that if I work with him, then I can see a lot more if I compare myself in the hotel line. But of course, it took me quite a long time to decide that to join him, because when I remember the first time when he showed me the kitchen of academy, it's like empty. There's nothing inside. It's only like when you step inside, it's like any housing area that you go. Then there's no renovate, nothing inside. Only have three pillar. You can see only three pillar. There's no floor plan, nothing, nothing. You don't see anything. Then after I discussed with him, because we are working together, and I remember the time I resigned and I was I got the offer from Mandarin Oriental, which is one of the best hotel in Kuala Lumpur. Then I told him. Then he asked me, Dan, let's. He showed me everything and asked me to think. What makes me to join academy? The biggest issue. He, I realized that he planned something like he's gonna invite a lot of chefs comes to Malaysia.
Yes.
Of course, on the time we don't know it works or not, but at least I know he have an intention, and I know that this is what we shot, because any hotel you go, no matter how big is it, you can only learn from certain people, and most of them are from Malaysia.
Correct.
Of course, we have a chef from expatriate from the pastry chef or whatever, but you learn very specifically. But what he explained to me, that I know that I will see a lot more. That's the reason I joined.
Okay. And chef, what made you get into taking part in competitions? Like you see, most pastry chefs or most chefs don't ever venture that way, either because of funding or not motivated enough, or no backup, no people to push them. What motivated you to get into competitions and do competitions and all of that?
Me, okay, I would say actually, right, it depends on personal level, because I don't think all the competition you need a lot of funding. Okay, you don't need a lot of support also. Like I remember when I first time I did the competition is in when I'm working in hotel. Okay, not for the
Oh,
work,
okay,
not for the World Cup, but for the local selection. Okay,
okay.
then I'm not saying hotel is not supporting, but it's not like really support you to go for competition, because you
Yeah,
still need
because they are more bothered about their
your
guests and the
production.
work in the hotel.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I remember the time I don't spend a lot of money. I use whatever resources I have. But what makes me feel like I want to continue on doing competition, right, is you can improve yourself a lot.
Correct.
For me, it's not like the environment you have for. Of course, if you have better environment to do competition, it's better. But I don't think there's a environment restriction for yourself if you want to do a competition, because actually every competition you push to your limit and you becomes better. So
Correct.
it's very important that you continue and you learn that you never be the maximum. You
Give
know,
up.
yeah, you never give up, and it will become better after the each time of the competition. Of course, there will be very hard time, there will be smooth time, but in the end, is don't think about the environment first. But I think it's the you need to know that when you do every competition, right, you learn a lot. You becomes much better after that. That is, I think that's the main point that motivate myself to go for competition. Mm.
Correct. And chef, you've taken part in 2012 as well, right? And what different? How different were you when you went in 2012, and when you, along with Chef Otto and Chef Mengai, won the World Pastry Cup in Lyon last year?
Oh, you
Uh,
mean in the
what
World Cup?
what
In the
changed
World
for
Cup?
you? Yes, yes.
Oh, actually, it's 2013. The first time we
Oh,
did is
2013. Okay,
yeah,
chef. 2013.
2013. Of course, that time I'm still young. Now I'm not that young anymore.
Correct.
Okay, that time I'm still young, and it was our first time. Me, that time I'm taking part. Actually, my teammate is Chef Otto, me, and also Chef Hong.
Correct,
I
chef.
Chef Alicia, do you meet Chef Hong or you never meet him before?
No, chef, but I know you'll always speak about him and I see your stories about him.
Yeah, he's I just go through a little bit. He's like my elder brother. Then actually, when
Correct.
now a lot of people know I do sugar, but a lot of things I learned from him. He's one of the
Okay.
mentor for me that to learn all the sugar work or whatever. Then I remember the time we are first time to go for a competition and we know each other and we know each other I think 1 or 2 years around the time. It's like I know Chef Photo I think 2011 or 2012 around like that time. Chef Hong also.
Okay.
Then within that 1 years we get to be very close for three of us. But uh how to say that is the feeling is different because we are still new to that competition. We don't know how to organize. Then that's the
I
reason
think
why.
over the years you learned a lot while taking part itself, right?
Yes, I participate 3 times as a candidate and 1 time as the manager, and this
Okay.
makes me knows that a lot of things that is not a competition is not just like the when you join and you see that or when you see other people when on the TV, right, what they did over there is a lot of hard work from behind, and there's a lot of people who helping us. We have a
Correct,
lot
sir.
of assistants who help us and a lot of the people who help us to do the logistic and whatever to make sure
Correct.
this journey go very smooth. So the biggest
Correct.
biggest difference, right, is I would say the uh how to say the biggest difference will be our mentality. I would say 2013 and
Sure.
2019 is very different, and our confidence is different. And when we join that competition, the view of us towards that competition are also different. 2013 is like, okay, I just go there for participate. Of course, I wish to get a good result, but I don't imagine too much. But
Correct.
2019, I have a much bigger pressure because we know that because 2015 we already number four, so we know that we need to
Correct.
be better than number four. At least we need to be top three. So,
Correct.
and our ultimate goal is to become a champion. And we know that to become a champion is not easy. And I would say the percentage is very on the time before the competition is very small. I believe also
Mm-hmm.
everyone thinks that this team probably they can get champion, but they are not thinking that okay this team will have chances bigger than 50% that they're going to be champion, because they will think this team is good, but you need to depends on the time how they work to think that they will become champion. So it's a lot of pressure, but we are more stable. So the main difference is like this.
Chef, and I remember I was watching the competition, your competition, as it was happening live, and I remember seeing the screen where everyone was watching you while you were showing a new technique and blowing the snail that you created with the chips of sugar. How important is it to be innovative, new, and different in such competitions?
I believe for all the competition, it's not only in World Cup, but most all the competition, the or even pastry, the normal pastry, that I think originality when you create something, originality is very important. I of,
Correct.
of course when I learn, right, it's not possible like for anyone suddenly you want to create something new. It takes time. Like when I remember when I start to learn and when the moment we start to work in academy, we also take a lot of inspiration from a lot of chefs. Like I learned from Chef Stefan Trion, I learned from Chef
Correct.
Arnold, and Chef Yvonne Notter, a lot of Chef Christopher Morel. I I try with their idea and I practice, but at one point you will start to you need to practice a lot, of course. Then after that, at one point you will start to realize you need to do something different with them in order to make yourself because you will reach one point that you finish already, you don't know how I'm gonna do. I already, what I seen from them I already reach that. So for them, they can create always new things. But for myself, if I continue follow their path, I know that I will always behind others. So at one point that it's not only me, it's like we have a team, Chef Lauren, Chef Chong, Chef Otto, Chef Loy, and including you all also. We we feel that it's time for us to develop something. That's why every time when I
Correct.
go for competition, right, if you realize, start from 2015, uh, I,
Mm-hmm.
I do the chocolate cake. I did the glaze of drizzling, and
Correct.
And
Correct.
on 2017, Chef Chong also he created a mold which is very different with others. Then
Correct.
Otto when he go for the Asian top patissier also he create a chocolate treatment with a design very different with others. So every time
Correct.
I try with something new, then after that, I'm lucky also on this time I suddenly realized that when I need to change my style like the snail, I'm not checking a lot of the skills in pastry or sugar. I'm checking a lot of the skill in those industrial like how to do a glasses or whatever. So I get inspiration from there. So with the knowledge that I have, I try to adjust it. So for Chef Otto the same.
Okay.
He's looking a lot on not only on in chocolate display. He's looking a lot of the display in the the those like figures, sculpture. Then in the end we create something that we present in the Kutumon. But
Correct.
that it takes time because to to a lot of people they will always think that you need to have something new. But that it really takes time. It's not like you really like I spend let's say I plan this month I want to do something new. It doesn't work like that. Is
Correct.
you need to plan or you
Keep
need to
on
always
trying, practicing.
yeah you need to keep on trying and practice like the snail technique right. It took me two months to do it properly. I have an idea. I see how the glass making did it, but you need to change to sugar. Temperature is different, texture are very
Correct.
different. The working condition also very different. So when the beginning I see I try, it doesn't work, but it looks like possibly there's a possibility that it will be okay. So it took me around 2 months. Every day I practice one, then to get the technique that like the final. So everything is like you need to keep on trying to experiment. Uh,
Looks like we lost you, chef. Oh, okay.
oh,
You're there.
okay. Mm,
Okay. Chef, we have one question.
yeah.
Gurpreet's asking that sometimes we reach a mental block where we can't think of any ideas. And at that point of time, maybe there are times that you feel like not so good, want to give up a little bit. What inspires you at that time? What motivates you at, at such a time?
Um, to be very frank, right? Okay. There's two kind of feeling of this. One is if when you do competition, it's like you cannot get the idea, you are stuck. So you feel like very
Correct.
frustrated. But for me, when I want to, I always prepare myself before I go for a competition. I'm not like I give myself half years to prepare. Not like that. Is when every time when I do a pastry, right? I'm because you get used to a habit that you're always trying to do something new, or you trying
Correct.
when you see a technique from a chef, you try to think with that technique, can I adjust it to do something very different with others? So
Correct.
when when I see a technique that after I try it's possible to do something very different with others, I keep that technique. So I don't. It's because it's very difficult when you want to go for competition. Only you start to think a new idea. It's always you need to keep
Mm-hmm.
this idea. Always keep. And when I nowadays right, we always use our phone to see all the ideas right.
Correct.
Pinterest, Facebook, or inspiration for other chefs. When I if you see I have a folder, then I always keep pictures or inspiration inside. So I don't need that when I have class or when I have competition. Only I start to look for it. I always prepare when I see something like let's say when I go to another country, I see something very nicely. I took a picture, I
Mm-hmm.
keep inside my folder. Maybe I don't use it in next 1 year, but I don't know
Correct.
after 2 years, maybe at one point you need to use it because maybe it's suitable for that current situation or season, whatever. So this is the first part. The second part, when you feel frustrated, sometimes it's not because of competition. It's because you feel you reach the you don't know how to be better. Like you reach a level that now I'm at this level. How I'm gonna become better? So
Correct.
the easiest way to solve this problem is for me is to get inspiration for others. Like first thing is like taking classes because
Mm-hmm.
if you one way is to read from the books, but books is very difficult because from the books right you require yourself to have certain certain knowledge to understand what the book is explaining. Okay, especially those like recipe or whatever. Because if you see a recipe, you know the procedure, but you don't know how to do it. You don't know the theory behind it. You cannot create exactly like that. So
Correct.
for that, I think it's good to go for classes. That's the reason. Just now you asked me why I joined academy, right? This is the biggest reason that makes me feel I want to join the school, because I know that I can see a lot of different skill from all the chefs when I work beside them. So when
Correct.
you feel yourself, you reach a limit, you need to, you cannot stay in the same zone, which we call it comfortable
Mm-hmm.
zone. You need to step out
Correct.
of it. It's either you change your work, or either you go. If you cannot change your work, or you cannot have a different kind of environment, you go for classes. So you go, when you see from the classes, right? When you see different technique, you bring it back to your environment and you try it. So it will link
Mm-hmm.
yourself to other, something that you can create yourself. So with this way, I don't think you get boring or frustrated with this industry, because pastry, the good part of it is this limitless. There's no limit for it. You can create whatever. I
Correct.
think that is the best part of the
Correct.
pastry. Mm.
And chef, according to you, what are the qualities that it takes to make, if not a great, a good pastry chef? A few
What?
qualities that it takes to.
Of course, the most important is the taste and the texture. Because
Mm-hmm.
today, let's say example, I can have a, me. I still like to eat cheesecake. Okay, it don't need to be very complicated. Like in Malaysia, or in basically in Asia,
Correct.
maybe we don't need to make something very complicated. A simple,
Mm-hmm.
super nice Swiss roll, okay, can
Yes.
makes you feel, wow, I want to eat it. So the most important things, which we always forget nowadays because of the social media or pictures or whatever, is the main reason why we do a food, which is for people to eat. And when they feel nice, they're gonna try it again. So the main
Correct.
point to have a good pastry, which I think is the taste and the texture need to be there. So it makes yourself feel you want to have a second pieces. Then, for me,
Correct.
I have taste. Taste is difficult because it depends individually. Okay, but for texture, there's roughly a formula. For me, when I do the cakes for the coup du monde, I have a formula in mind. I can change to different tastes, no problem. But the texture, I
Mm-hmm.
always use roughly this formula, which is a mousse. Okay, if I want to do entremet, you need to have a light mousse. Okay,
Correct.
afterwards you need to have something creamy inside. A mousse is creamy, but it's light. You need to have something creamy that you feel can be ganache, okay, can be cream,
Mm-hmm.
okay, can be pastry cream or whatever. Then you need to have something fruity, can be a jelly, can be a jam, okay. You can decide whatever. Then one layers very spongy, which you can eat a lot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's very important because you see today if I give you a sponge cake, a Swiss roll, you can finish almost everything.
Correct.
Swiss roll with chantilly, usually we can eat a big piece.
Mm-hmm.
Swiss roll
Correct.
with buttercream, we can eat big, okay? But today, if I give you a jam, a butter of jam, how much you can take? You can only take one bite. You stop
Correct.
because it's very heavy. Or
Correct.
ganache, if I give you a cup of ganache, you cannot take too much also because it's too much
Too
sugar.
heavy. Correct.
So it's important when you build a cake, right? You need to feel light and you want to eat second bite, which is you need to have something light, which is mousse and sponge. So with you see mousse, sponge, fruity flavor, and creamy texture, you can give you
Mm-hmm.
very nice cake. Okay. Then
Correct.
after, if you want, this one depends on the country. Like myself, I like to have something crispy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
India, in India, I think I know that you also like to have something a little bit
Yes.
crispy. But I know that
Correct.
in Philippines, they don't, they are not looking for something crispy like too crispy stuff. So you don't need to have
Okay.
a very crispy stuff inside a cake. So it depends on your environment. So you need to know that your market what they need also. So
Mm-hmm.
with this, usually you can do a pastry which is everyone like it, even though it doesn't look so nice. But after
Mm-hmm.
after that is on, if you want to be in one of the best, you need to make sure your pastry looks tempting. It makes people want to eat it
Correct.
when you look. So if you fulfill all these points, right, usually whatever pastry you make, right, it won't be far. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
even though you try out, right, usually they are quite nice. That's
Okay.
the point that I can share to everyone. Usually, how I create a pastry.
Thank you, Chef. One last question before we end. Any words of advice that you would like to give all the young pastry chefs out there? I know you're young yourself, but younger than you, Chef. Any words of advice?
Um. Okay. In our line, right. Don't talk about competition.
Yes,
Okay.
Chef.
We just ignore about competition first. But in our life, if you want to be success, right, you need to be, I would say that you need to be very open minded, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to accept all the information from everyone. But you need to be smart to digest all the information from everywhere, and including yourself. So like me, information I get, I need to digest. Not everything is good. You need to learn first thing to know that good or bad. If you take this knowledge, if you know it's not
Correct.
that good, you don't use it. Or when people talk to you that, okay, if you do this way, it's not that good, you need to think, are they correct or no? But they speak this to you. Usually they want you to be better. So you need to open your mind to accept whatever criticize from anyone. Okay, that is the first point. Second, to be humble, and to be humble relate to the first point. If you are not humble, you are not open-minded usually. Like today,
Correct.
when I do a cake, then I let you taste. Then if you tell me, Chef Dan, the cake is not, can you do a bit better? So me myself, even though I'm a world champion, but I feel okay. Today, Chef Alicia told me maybe she feel can be better. So I need to think a way to make it better. So it's not like you criticize me, then I feel bad that I don't. I cannot feel that I'm a world champion. I don't listen to anyone. It's not supposed to be like that, because if you be like that, right, you cannot improve. You will always like
Yeah. You will stop learning.
yes, you stop at where you are. You cannot be better than that. So yeah, maybe I'm the world champion for 2019, but it's 2019. Now it's 2020, right? I need to be better than I need to be better than last year, right? I cannot be exactly same with
Correct.
last year. I cannot keep the same mind as
Correct.
last year to now. So for me, the main point is to be open-minded and humble. So about the learning, right? Everyone can be hardworking. Everyone can be smart. But these 2 points, it makes for what I see, because I see a lot of students. Okay, some students very smart, some students very hardworking, some students very
Mm-hmm.
hardworking and smart. But not everyone can success or they improve very fast, because
Correct.
one part of it is the willing to learn, and the humble part is stop them to accept a lot of things from others. Because when you learn very
Oh,
fast, right, you feel that okay, I learn very
you know
fast.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know everything. Then this thing you show me tomorrow, I learn it. I see one time I know, but you never think that you see only the surface or what the chef show you. But how the chef get this thing
Correct.
is by experiment. But you never think about the experiment. So this makes the difference between a chef, a good chef, and the best chef. So it makes huge difference between it. So that's the things that I can share to all the young chefs.
Uh, for everyone watching, I remember one interaction with Chef Tan when we were competitors, so to say, at the Asian Pastry Cup in 2018. Me and Chef Mukesh were in Malaysia, and if you want to speak about humility, I don't think there is a better example than Chef Tan. I remember he saw Chef Mukesh doing something with a leaf. He went, Chef Tan, you went out of your way, I remember, to look for a mold or something of silicone that would make the leaf look better. And till today, I do tell my students about this incident, about how that moment you inspired me so much, about just the fact that you were a competitor, but you thought so much about the others because you knew how strong you were yourself. And
Actually,
and that
actually,
is
I
why I look up.
I'm kind of forget about that if you don't mention, and I
Chef,
don't
you
remember.
came into
I don't remember what
you
I
came
say,
into
but
our classroom.
yeah,
Yes, you came into our classroom and you went and you told Chef Mukesh that you have something and you went specially to look for it and you brought it and you gave it to Chef Mukesh,
I remember.
and I still remember this, and I think that's one reason I look up to you in so many ways other than just looking at your sugar work or your chocolate work or your pastries, the human being that you are,
But
and you inspire.
that is also I. It's not my originality, right? I'm not like that. I also learn from a lot of chefs because
Of course, Chef.
like just now I said about humble, right? Because myself, I go through at one point, right? I remember the first year after I joined academy because I learned a lot. At one point, I feel myself is very good. Then I'm kind of a little bit arrogant, I would say. But I realized
Mm-hmm.
I'm so lucky because I met a lot of chefs who are much better than me. So when I see how they work, right, I feel that there will always have people better than you. So that's the reason that also like the same case happen like when you all practice, where I practice. What I feel that you all can improve because we are actually, even though we are competing each other, but there's a lot of people. So we are
Correct.
trying to put a show which is the best show in this competition to show to other people. That's
Correct.
why I feel there's no reason should stop myself to helping another team. This I think this one is very important, and this one is the reason makes our team, including Chef Alisha, Chef Mukesh also, I believe the same. How come this team can grow so fast? I think this is one of the
Correct,
reasons
Chef.
because it's important. We need to help each other in order to make ourselves better than others. Mhm.
Correct.
Thanks for reminding
Thank
me
you
about
so much,
that
Chef.
part.
Thank you so much, Chef. It was great talking with you.
You too.
Uh, have a great evening, and I hope we see each other soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully in Singapore or in Malaysia, or you come down to India.
I hope
uh,
so. Also. I hope so.
yes, hope so, Chef. Okay. Bye bye,
Okay.
Chef. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for today.